diners in the metro area know Casa Vieja in Corrales is a top spot for cuisine, and now it's getting known worldwide with the recognition for cocktail excellence too, thanks to you, of course. And we're pleased to welcome sommelier and mixologist Kate Gerwin and chef Josh Gerwin. So nice to have you both with us. Thank you for being here.
We're happy to be here.
I can't even talk because I'm so excited. Not only do you do what you do so well, but you also own the place. So you really have the say in how things are run, and obviously you're doing a very good job. So
thank you.
Congratulations on that. Now, I want to talk first really quickly. After 4 semifinal rounds, Casa Vieja actually has made the top 10 in the World Finals at the Institute for Cocktail Excellence, and I mean, that's huge.
It is. It's huge. We are grouped in with bars, the American Bar at the Savoy in New York, Elixir in San Francisco. I'm talking bartenders I've looked up to and looked for inspiration for a long time. Bartenders from the UK, 2 finalists from New Zealand, 1 from Mumbai.
Oh my gosh.
And Casa Vieja in Corrales, New Mexico, represented. There's a bar from Seattle, but I think there's about 4 from the US.
That's fantastic. And now people will be looking up to you.
Hopefully.
See, I think that's great. Well, the competition had to be so much fun.
It's wonderful. It's several rounds. We had four drinks that made it to the semifinals. There's a panel of expert judges, and they've narrowed it down to the top 10. They get to vote again for the top 10, and we'll find out in a couple months.
Maybe you can come here and we can do a taste test.
You better believe it.
Okay, I'm holding you to that one.
I'll be here.
I'm holding you to it. Now, of course, our fabulous chef today is going to be making...
It's all about chicken today and local and sustainability. So we're going to show you how to butcher a chicken and use the whole chicken and have meals for 3 days for a couple or a small family. So
and that's such a great idea, because not only is it something great for time purposes, because we seem to run out of time a lot to cook, but also economically it's a smart idea.
It is. A small bird at farmer's market, about $10, and could last you for 4 nights. It's, you know.
But the hard part for people like me is the butchering.
It's the butchering.
So you show us how to butcher that chicken.
First, you just cut the legs off of the breast. Gets a little bit of stability. Cut the extra skin away from the front just so it's not in your way. Find the keel bone. Then you make your first cut down the side of the keel bone, following it all the way down.
You make that
Exposes the
look
breast.
so easy.
Thanks. Then you just follow the breastbone of the chicken throughout, and cutting as close as you can. Go around the joint of the wing, and there you have a chicken breast that's going to go in our chicken brine, which is basically salt-saturated water with some spices.
That gives it a little flavor when you're ready to cook.
Flavor helps it not dry out.
One of the hardest things to do is cook a chicken breast. I mean, it dries out so easily.
That's the thing.
Something you can do at home is you brine it. You don't have to worry about seasoning it. Everything's in your brine. It sits for a couple of days. Then you take it out, you're cooking it, and it's so saturated with the mixture that you've done, a little bit of sugar. It's not going to overdry.
So once your breasts are off, you're going to flip the chicken over. This is the oyster of the chicken, so starting at the joint, digging down into the oyster, pop the joint, and then slide it right off.
He does this so well.
That's your legs. So you're going to take both the legs off. And then we're going to take the wings, because you have them, so you might as well have some fried chicken wings with your fried chicken. So we're just going to follow the joint. There's your carcass for the stock. You can take the tips off. You can see the joint right there.
Now, what kind of knife are you using, just out of curiosity?
This is a boning knife.
Okay.
So
because I think
nice
a knife
sharp.
really makes a difference, don't you?
It does. So nice and sharp, just slides right through them.
Wow.
So there's your wings that I put in the brine instead. Buttermilk for fried chicken. So you're going to find your joint right there, which is the white falling through the joint. If you just do your knife right there, it just slides right through.
And that's it. That's how to butcher a chicken.
That's how to butcher a chicken.
In less than 3 minutes.
In less than 3 minutes. So this is in buttermilk for the fried chicken. This is your brine for your chicken breast. I'll remove my gloves.
So we have a couple different options. So even if you have chicken every night, you have different options of what kind of chicken you're having.
You can have a couple different dishes.
You want to soak your chicken in your buttermilk or your brine for about 24 to 48 hours. So the first night you do your chicken breast. Your buttermilk is sitting there with your chicken getting on it. The next night you do your fried chicken, and everything's sitting there ready to go. It's going to be quick. You don't have to do anything. Pop it right out. And all you've bought is one chicken. You're getting stock, fried chicken, chicken breast.
Yes, and all you're doing is putting it in the buttermilk, and that's it, just for the
That's it. That's going to
marinate
it, and then after you take it out of there, you put it in your dredge, toss it in the paper bag, and ready to fry it in a cast iron pan with some lard.
Oh, that's
You put a recipe online. All of the recipes are there.
Oh, so you have all the recipes out.
All
Great.
the recipes
so if you go to casa.com today, you'll be able to see all the recipes, and those recipes won't be going anywhere. I'm telling you right now, I'm going to be watching that butchering in slow motion at least 3 or 4 times the next time I do it. I'll be watching it in slow-mo.
Excellent. So now we have the brine chicken breast that would have been brined for 24 24 hours. We're going to dry it out to get a nice sear on the skin.
Okay.
We're going to sear it skin side down in a nice hot pan. I use grapeseed oil.
Grapeseed oil, really?
Yeah. It's got a high smoke point, low fat. It has no flavor. There's no reason to saute with olive oil. You're just using expensive oil to ruin the flavor.
Good point.
So grapeseed oil, I don't like using vegetable oil because it's a soybean oil, and I stay away from soybean products personally.
Okay. No GMO.
So the grapeseed oil is a great way to go. So we've got the chicken breast searing in there. It'll sear for about 1.5 to 3 minutes. We'll flip it over, finish it in the oven for 10 to 15 minutes at 350 degrees, or until the internal temperature is about 160. Let it rest for about 5 or 6 minutes, ready to go on the plate.
And you said 3.5 minutes?
3.5 minutes searing it, getting it nice.
Side?
No, we're just going to get the skin a nice golden brown, then flip it over and finish it in the oven, really just so it looks nice and pretty.
Because I think that's a concern when cooking chicken. You want to get the golden, you want to get the crisp if you want to make it crispy, but you also want to make sure it's truly cooked on the inside, and that's always, that timing for me is always the issue.
Correct.
So I think that's good to know that we can just put it in the pan and roast it.
So
okay, so that's one.
Wait for this to heat up for a second, and this is going to be the chicken rabanado.
Okay.
And then, meantime, we have the carcass. We have mirepoix, which is carrot, celery, and onion. That goes in with the carcass. You would cover the carcass with cold water. You would start it on a burner at a low temperature and let it go for 12 to 18 hours.
Ooh.
Strain it afterwards, and then you have your chicken stock.
You can use chicken stock for so many things.
We have chicken stock that we're going to use in the rabanado, and we always also have a chicken jus, which is the sauce that you go over the chicken breast. So we have a sauce for it. We have the chicken breast, and all of these things have come from one chicken.
So many options. I'm really very amazed by this because I have the problem, like I was saying earlier, of not knowing what to cook. And I had chicken last night. What should I have tonight? But if you can do this and you can already prepare everything ahead of time and have variety at the same time, that's incredible.
And it's sustainable. I mean, big key.
And cheap, and you use the whole bird. So this is the chicken rabanado.
Okay.
We're just going to put it in a nice hot pan.
And you use the grapeseed oil for that as well?
Grapeseed oil again. And we don't have to season this with salt and pepper because the chicken's already brined.
See, that's another thing I was just going to mention is you don't even need the seasoning.
Nope.
What a nice thing.
And you don't want to overcrowd the pan so it stays nice and hot.
Okay.
So we can get it hotter.
And you would recommend this type of pan for each of these different dishes as well?
Yeah, you know, a saute pan. This is, you know, you're going to deglaze it with chicken stock, so you don't want to make a mess on your stove, so a little taller sides.
Okay. Good point.
So we've got
I'm glad the dogs are not around right now. They'd be going crazy from the smell.
all that
so
going.
good.
Chicken breast comes off. You've got the nice golden brown. Goes in the oven just like that.
In the pan like that?
In the pan just like that.
That's great.
To finish in the oven.
And that's another thing. Who wants to have 75 dishes when you're cooking? So if you can just use the same pan, pop it in the oven, that's incredible.
And then you can make another pan sauce out of it, and there's a variety of different things you can do with it once you're at that point.
Perfect.
So this burner's a little hotter, obviously.
Yes.
This is for the rabanado.
Got it.
So they're going to take about 1.5 minutes on each side.
Okay.
Again, you're just looking for a golden color. They're going to release by themselves. They're still a little stuck. Yeah, so when they're still stuck, they're not ready to come off. The natural sugars in the chicken have not caramelized yet. So just leave it alone for another minute, and then they'll start coming off. We flip them over on the other side for about a minute.
Okay.
Remove them from the pan. Then we deglaze with chicken stock. Add them back to the pan after you reduce it by half. A little green chili, a little butter, and then your chicken rabanado is finished.
I love how you're making it possible. You know, sometimes we go to restaurants such as yours, and we think we could never achieve this at home, but I love that you're giving everybody those steps. And
it's all very simple.
If you want to go to Casa Vieja, very simple. It's located at 4541 Corrales Road in Corrales. The number to call is 508-3244, and the website is CasaViejaNM.com. And you can log on to Casa.com for today's recipes, and there are several of them. And we want you back to make some drinks for us.
Thank you. I would love to come. Absolutely.
We'd love to have you. And speaking of taste testing, when we come back, we are going to be testing the taste of all this delicious food. And now, let's check in with Bobby Olguin about what's coming up this weekend on New Mexico's Hot Chefs.